Welcome back, everyone. We just finished up our first game of the mid-testing grounds. I still have Ashley here with me. I am Ebram, of course. And we just saw Ironic taking down God Squad coming in. We were looking forward to God Squad. We were looking forward to them continuing their victories in excellence. We've seen them win before, and we expected them to win again. And after that early game, we thought that God Squads was gonna win it, but Ashley, just first thoughts on that last game.
I mean, yeah, we absolutely had expectations for God Squad, but I think what that game showed is you can't underestimate these new teams that are coming into it. Unknown quantities. Ironic came in, had a little bit of a rough early game, but turned it around in the mid to late game, got that hyper carry online, and came out with the victory.
Yeah, and just starting up with that last game, I want to talk a little bit about that draft because we definitely saw two teams that were looking to fight a lot as well. But when I was looking at Ironic's team, I just didn't see where the damage was going to be coming from other than the Jinx. I didn't think that top lane Karma was going to be dealing damage. I didn't think Olaf was going to be dealing that much damage either, because I thought he was going to be building a little bit more tankier, but he did go fully in with the damage. So what were your thoughts on the draft? Because I was coming, I was like, wait, God Squad has too much damage not to be taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, seeing the draft, I automatically thought that Ironic was going to come out with the better draft. Just personally, yeah, we look at Jinx maybe being their main source of damage, maybe only Olaf otherwise, but God Squad had a draft that was based around team fighting, layering CC with their ultimates, being able to go in, while when you have the Leona, when you have the Lissandra, when you have the Karma building tank, you have so much frontline, you have so much disengaged CC that if you can get to a point where your Jinx is able to stay safe, not be engaged on unless the Wukong can get a great flank, and get those resets, be strong, you have so much hyper carry damage that there's absolutely no way to touch the Jinx and to counter the Jinx. So for God Squad, it's impossible to win those fights after the initial engage if you can't kill the Jinx right away.
Yeah, we were always looking forward to these fights, and we were waiting for that late game to come up. But before that late game came up, we were looking at that early game, especially down near bot lane, where we saw these lands, and I believe it's Wizard, just getting a lot of attention from their jungler and using it well. I mean, the Ezreal was huge there in the early game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely was. And props to the Nunu for making good ganks and getting solid priority for that Ezreal early on. I am a little bit disappointed in the early game Leona play from Fire for Life. I felt like you're playing against a Blitzcrank Ezreal. Yeah, Blitzcrank has the hook and that sort of thing, but if you're in situations where time after time again, we're seeing you have to run away from the Blitzcrank because he just walked around your wave and now you don't have something to block and you're not engaging on him, then you're doing something wrong, right? You're allowing him to get free hooks, to get free knockups. Instead, as the Leona, you should be Zenith Blading into him. You should be trying to stun him up so your Jinx can get distance so that you can poke him down and that hopefully you can survive and tank up enough that he can't keep walking past your wave and getting these free picks.
Yeah, we saw a lot of things actually just happened there in that bot lane early, and just coming into that to like mid and late game, we were just expecting it to go heavily in the favor of God Squad, and then it almost seemed to turn around. I believe it was in the fight of Ironic's jungle, like right by the Dragon Pit, where that's where it started to go south right there for God Squad. We were seeing the Ezreal deliver the damage, but everyone just seemed to be dying on the side of God Squad. Wukong couldn't fully stay in to get full advantage of his ultimate. We weren't seeing the Nunu make full advantage of his CC. It just seemed like everyone was dying way too quickly, especially in that first fight where it went Ironic's way.
Absolutely. You see the Leona passive start to come through, making sure that the rest of her team can do more damage, as well as the Ezreal in those team fights. Again, we talk about this front to back. There's so many tanks on the side of Ironic, with the Lissandra being able to stall time, with the Karma, with the Olaf, with the Leona, that if you don't have AoE from your main carry, from that Ezreal, how can you do damage, right? How can you get consistent damage onto all members? You only have your ultimates for the rest of the members of your team. Once those are gone, the Jinx can just free fire with Runins, with the reset, and get so much value. And for me, it just didn't seem like there's any way after the initial engage without Wukong being able to find a masterful flank for them to deal with Ironic's team comp in a straight up 5v5.
Yeah, and once we got to it, like that last fight, where Ironic started winning the fight, and what pretty much I think Ironic had to walk through like the Rumble ulti in that last fight, and I'm like, okay, if God Squad doesn't win this fight, there's no way this like they can ever win another fight, and that was their last fight because it didn't matter that Ironic had to walk through a Rumble ulti. They just walked through it like it wasn't even anything, and yeah, that sealed their victory right there. Next game we are going to be getting Ironic again versus Glacial, who both teams of course won their first game. So just thoughts on that next game. Of course we saw what Ironic can do. Anything, do you think they're gonna go with this late game comp again?
It wouldn't surprise me if they went for one of these types of compositions. If I was Glacial coming into it and I saw what Ironic ran as a team comp, I'd be probably looking to get something other than Nunu in the jungle. I don't think that's the ideal pick whatsoever. I think maybe you look for something like a Graves with a hyper carry, or something with a little bit more dive potential or team CC potential. Otherwise, I think you try to ban out some of these hyper carries. You get rid of the Jinx, you get rid of maybe like an Aphelios, try to target that ADC champ pool because they weren't drafting for that. I think you're fine letting an Ornn come through, you're fine letting a Set come through, but letting a Jinx come through, letting an Aphelios come through, even maybe something like a Cog Lulu bot lane come through is not going to be ideal, especially if you're a team fight based composition going into it. So
yeah, now that you kind of mentioned that Cog Lulu, I can kind of see like how that would work really well for a team like Ironic just from seeing how they played in that first game. Like something that can just keep them safe in that early game in the bot lane and make sure they can transition well into that mid game. Because it seems like once they do get into that later parts of the game, they know exactly what to do. They're playing these team fights really well. And I'm just super excited for it. Any last thoughts before we throw it out to our casters?
Yeah, not too much. I'm super excited to see how this plays out. Again, Ironic coming in as an unknown quantity. Glacial been around a little bit longer, so it's again that experience in this competitive scene versus that inexperience, but still coming out with the skills. I'm also curious to see what Yasuke comes through with, because I've seen him play in other leagues, and I'm expecting if he can get onto a carry that he can do a lot of work. So
yeah, you're not happy with that karma. You want more, don't you?
I've seen him on Shen, I've seen him on Mordekaiser, and I've seen him just absolutely decimate people. So the karma, I understand it fit for the composition they were trying to go for, but I think it's a waste of the top lane talents. And from what we know about Glacial, they do like to play around top lane. I want to see more action in the top lane. I want to see more ganks. I want to see more 1v1s. I want to see priority down there. I don't want to see this 80 carry, hyper carry style all the time, right? Give me action elsewhere.
I hate to tell it to you this way, Ashley, but it seems like the meta is heading straight for no action in the top lane. Wait until ADCs are stacked up because yeah, I feel like that's what we're going back to easily. But yeah, we are gonna go straight into this next game with back to our great casters. Ironic versus Glacial. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're gonna be right with you.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for that analysis of the last game, guys. My name is Fennec, of course. Joining me on the desk is Mitt, and we're into picks and bans.
They're going fast.
Ezreal, first pick for Ironic. Ornn being hovered by Glacial. Aphelios, Zach Volibear, banned away by Ironic. As that's actually not a change of bans from last game at all. Graves, Cassiopeia, and Jinx being banned away by Glacial. Lulu being picked up here despite the Aphelios being banned away. Signals to me that they want to pick up a Kog'Maw into this Ezreal. I wonder what Ironic will do with that information.
Yeah, I like how Glacial has banned the Jinx and the Cassiopeia, two great scaling champions, and they also got rid of the Graves, which is telling me that they don't want to play a slow for this game. They want to play a quick pace game. They're taking a lot of the scaling off the table. So Ezreal and Ziggs is going to be 100. That would be very interesting.
This was banned away last game. So, signature pick, I believe, for Blitz in that mid lane. Of course, Ziggs, not the most oppressive mid laner there, but he's pretty dang close, and he can just take over games if he's allowed to gain constant wave priority. We see Ironic, as the analysts were mentioning, Shen being picked up in the top lane. For Yasuke, interesting to see Shen as a blind pick. Typically, you'll see him as a counter to something like the Set, as it will be the Sivir in the bot lane instead of the Kog'Maw. I'm not a huge fan of this pick, but what do you think of it?
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I'm not a huge fan of the Lulu Sivir. I mean, I suppose it could get things done. You can make your Sivir go very fast. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I feel like there's better AD carries in terms of scaling, especially going into an Ezreal. Severe is, wave clear when you need wave clear. And Ezreal is more of that mid-late game scaling hyper damage threat. Now Severe can also be a great team fight threat as well, depending on what else they pick. The Ornn is also a great start to a team fight composition. And I mean, if you get 2 tanks, a cleric, and then like a control mage, that's like a classic combination there, which could see some success. Whereas Ironic's team composition is still yet to be determined. Ziggs, of course, being just known for his wave clear, his priority, his ability to keep waves off and keep waves pushed. Shen, his cross-map presence, being able to influence global team fights. And then Ezreal, of course, is known for absorbing pressure, scaling into late. So there isn't really a theme that I can see uniting these picks yet, but we'll have to see. They still got 2 more picks to kind of tie everything together.
Yeah, Nocturne or Shyvana or something of that nature. I think they need a Shen delivery service.
I'd love a Nocturne, because Nocturne is such a pressure point on the map. He's going to be constantly drawing. He just presses a button and a fight starts. You know what I mean? And then that
Sej. This is a great Trundle game, actually.
Yeah, I think Trundle would be really strong too. I mean, just because you have an Ornn and a Sejuani target, and he's left wide open, so I think that would be an excellent pick.
We'll see if Ironic decides to go for the Trundle. Kindred?
They got 5 seconds. Is that what we're seeing? Oh, yeah, we are seeing Kindred. Okay.
So
That
they
is
still
very
have a method of
interesting.
Shen delivery, but also Kindred actually is really good into tanks, especially when you have an Ezreal and you don't have a consistent tank shredder on your team, because you have Ezreal Ziggs, both of whom are very burst heavy. I dare say I like Kindred.
Yeah,
I
mean,
dare say.
And then Echo. Okay. Okay, so my question is, Kindred is one of those junglers. She requires prio in both your top lane and your mid lane. You have it in your mid lane with the Ziggs. There's no question about that. You're gonna have this Echo pushed in 24/7. Shen, on the other hand, Shen and Ornn.
I feel like that one's Shen has push prio.
You feel like Shen has push prio into that? I feel like Ornn.
Once he gets Tiamat, right?
Tiamat, yeah.
Because, I mean, he's not going to go in the first few levels, but you're looking at, like it's Shen. And the way I say it is he has a surprising amount of damage TM. You have to respect it. He should be able to get wave prio on the Ornn until Ornn gets Bomby Cinder, but even then, like, you're looking at, or even then, once Ornn gets Bomby Cinder, you're looking at Shen going to have a Tiamat, but be able to outpush. I think the wave prio goes in favor, but that's me being a Shen player at one point.
I mean, the classic meme for Ornn is, tanky DPS assassin, fighter brawler, jack of all trades, does it all. So I don't, but they're both like big beefy tank boys. So we're probably just gonna see a wet noodle fight up top. I don't see either side gaining super huge priority.
But they both do a surprising amount of damage TM.
Is it gonna be like you think it's a wet noodle fight, but they've got like knives stashed away in their noodles, and they just start shanking each other.
Yeah, pretty much. like you're forgetting that Shen like still builds Titanic Hydra, despite the fact that he's supposedly a tank, right? Like
supposedly,
really...
air quotes.
Supposedly a tank. I don't know.
I feel like Shen's in his own cat. He's like kind of a tank, but he's more so like a split pusher that you just can't kill. It's not like he split pushes, but he doesn't split push because he can kill your solo laner. He split pushes because you have
your
to deal
solo
with
laner can't kill him.
He'll just be there forever. It was worse when he had ZZ-Rot. But
oh god. I remember okay, so I remember Season 6, Season 7, gonna date myself here.
Oh,
I remember starting with 3 rejuvenation beads, building into the Tiamat, and eventually completing the Zerat as like 3rd item.
And then it's just
and when
so much
Banner of
pressure.
Command was meta, you had Titanic Hydra, you had Zerat, you had Banner of Command, and then you obviously had Sunfire Cape, right? And then like your last item is just some other tank item, and you still don't die, despite the fact that you only have like 2 tank items on your...
Oh my gosh, those items, I'm so glad they're gone. They were so broken.
You know what else is broken? Ziggs. I hate him.
Yeah, he's good, and he gets the product for the Kindred, so... He's gonna... The Ziggs, the whole... My little brain is starting to theorize here, that Ziggs is gonna push in Echo 24/7. And then Kindred is going to try to get her little marks by dancing into Sejuani's jungle. Now, that sounds great on paper, but on the flip side, Echo is very good at skirmishing in the jungle. He can jump over walls, he can set up these nice trap zones, deny area, and Sejuani and Echo combined are going to stack up that passive very, very quickly. So, sure, you may get prio, sure, the Echo might lose a little bit of farm here and there, but if you try to go too aggressively, it can get punished very, very easily. So I would like to see the Kindred maybe play just a little more reserved and play for vision more so than just like going straight in. And force the Echo to constantly be thinking, oh, do I need to leave lane here? Or do I need to stay? And then maybe slowly bleed him out of resources that way while your Ziggs is just pushing him 24/7. Lean more on your Ziggs and your Ezreal as opposed to your Kindred, and just kind of have your Kindred there for mind games. I think that'd be a pretty strong way to play this game. And on the flip side, we've got big, huge, chunky team fight with the Orin, Sejuani, massive front lines. Severe's going to do tons of team fight damage, AoE. Lulu buffing up the Severe, ulting maybe a front liner, and then we've got Echo just causing chaos in the back line. You know, both teams have avenues to success that are a little bit different, but in my opinion, Glacial's is a little bit more straightforward and easy to execute. So I'm going to give the slight edge over to Glacial.
Yeah, I mean, once again, it's a very skirmishy 1-4 comp from Ironic. They have a lot of tower push, though, with Ziggs and Kindred, so don't count out the Ziggs tower push. Remember Ziggs bot lane. 2017.
Oh my god, I still play
Cody Sun on Immortals with Ole. That was fun. Alongside that, right, we see the Ziggs into the Echo. I'm interested to see why Glacial opted to take the Echo into this matchup. It, in theory, should work, but in practice, it's very difficult for most assassins to actually get in onto Ziggs. Typically, I feel like the best counter to an artillery mage is another artillery mage, so like Vel'Koz, Xerath, what have you. But obviously, Glacial opted into the Echo matchup here. But enough about that. Moving on to the bot lane, Ezreal Nami versus the Sivir Lulu.
So Ezreal Nami versus Sivir Lulu. Sivir's going to be pushing this Ezreal in 24/7, but Ezreal's not going to care. He's just going to soak it all up. So it's a pretty even matchup. You know, we've got 80 carry cleric, 80 carry cleric. Not a ton of kill pressure on either side. They're both it's looking to trade waves back and forth, but Sivir is going to be the lane to have prior, which means dragons are going to be unlocked for Glacial.
Yeah, and when we look at this bot lane prio, I am concerned about the Kindred pick when it comes to the dragon and objective control, right? Kindred and Ziggs both melt neutral objectives very well, but at the same time, you can't take a Drake if you don't have bot lane prio, and I don't know if you're able to get that bot lane prio without having a Ziggs roam, which, grant you, they have a Shen, so I think maybe that's how they're going to be able to play around the neutral objectives, is play around the Shen and Ziggs level 6.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I think so. It's possible. It's just gonna be, Echo's gonna be slow to the dragon plays, and then Ezreal's gonna be slow. So the mid lane for Glacial's gonna be slow to the play, and the bot lane from Ironic is gonna be slow to the play. So it just really depends. I mean, I think they're gonna probably end up losing CF if they really want to force that objective super hard, like Sejuani, Sivir, and they're like, all right, we're forcing this objective, we're going right now. Then I feel like just Ezreal's just gonna have to drop everything and run, and same with Mr. Echo. But I feel like Echo can cause a little bit more chaos when he shows up on the scene. So I mean, it's hard to say. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of execution that goes into this, and a lot of it's not really super straightforward as to, in terms of playing around this bot side neutral objective, dragon in particular, how that's gonna go. Top side neutral objective, it's also a little bit weird. I mean, Ziggs is going to be the first to play. Kindred can just burn it. I foresee just Ziggs getting prio and then Kindred going and soloing the Rift Herald by herself if they want to do that avenue.
Quick load. We're onto the Rift.
Almost.
Game number 2 of the night. Already introduced them, but it doesn't hurt to do it again. On the blue side, it is Ironic. Yasuke in the top lane. X-Dark 573 in the jungle, Blitz in the mid lane, AGRPB in the AD carry position, and Fire for Life in support.
And bringing up the red side of the map, we have Glacial Esports, Joey Desu on the Ornn in the top lane, Skiz bringing up the jungle, Exus in the mid lane, and Epic Fail Guy with Xylandis as your bot lane duo. We are looking at a 5-point formation, both teams setting up the line of scrimmage, getting ready to battle. I like
Darksteel refillable from XS.
Darkseal refillable. That is muy interesante.
So there are 2 reasons you could go this. 1, you think you're going to stomp lane, or 2, you think you're going to get harassed out of lane. Those are the only 2 reasons you would start that particular combination, right? If you go Darkseal refillable and you think that you're going to get harassed out of lane, the extra healing plus the refillable stuff is worth the Darkseal purchase. Plus the fact that you're going to upgrade that to a corrupting pot. But at the same time, if you think that you have this matchup on lockdown, getting those stacks is really, really nice early, especially for an Echo.
I mean, I'm thinking early. I'm thinking a little column A, little column B. So early on, before the Echo gets, like, let's say level 3, I want to say, is when he can really put the screws to this Ziggs. He's probably going to be taking a good bit of Qs and auto attack harass. So the potion's going to keep him healthy for that point. And then once he gets level 3 and is maybe able to start putting the screws to the Ziggs, get some Sejuani ganks in, he can definitely stack that Darkseal very, very quickly. But I think he's going to need a little intervention from Sejuani in order to really make that happen.
We'll see how mid lane stacks up as we take a look at the junglers, both starting on the red buffs, but it's a full clear from the Sejuani, whereas Kindred opts to go red, wolves, blue, Gromp, most likely, to get the level 3 pathing. Obviously, first mark is a 50-50 on which Scuttle Crab it'll be. So, Kindred hoping that it'll be the top lane Scuttle, so spawn in a minute.
Ooh,
meanwhile,
nice
XS
trade.
getting a very nice trade on the Blitz on the level 2.
Only level 2 too. He's not even level 3 yet. That's pretty good for Echo. That's what he's gonna have to do. He can't just let Blitz, shove him in consistently. He's gonna have to take pretty aggressive trades early on, and that's where the refillable kind of comes in to keep him nice and healthy, nice and topped off. So I like the way that he's playing so far.
Oh my god. The satchel charge makes
tower
him
shot.
take up a shot! XS almost gets the kill with the Arcane Comet.
Oh, okay. So Exus, I like the aggression, but don't take a tower shot. You don't take a tower shot there?
Well, I
you're
don't
in a
think
pretty
he
good
thought
spot.
he was going to take a shower shot. Blitz just had a very good satchel charge.
Well, that's showing the proficiency on the Ziggs. But you know, you got to be cognizant that, yes, he has a reposition. If you go too deep, he is going to put you in there. You're going to take a tower shot, and it's going to be rough. So he's forced to burn that teleport very, very early. That's pretty huge.
Yeah. Grabs boots and comes back. Interesting to see the boots instead of the corrupting pot.
Trying to dodge. I'm assuming that's just to try and dodge more Qs.
Yeah.
And get more sticking power for when he actually does, you know, commit to a fight. But it looks like Kindred's going to luck out. It's on the top side this time. So Mark 1 is going to go over to Kindred.
Sticking power. Wait, no, that's a Dota joke.
What?
Because magic stick is a
Oh my god.
Dota item. It's a nice item. It gives you a charge every time you see an enemy use a spell within a certain distance.
Oh.
Access now. On a blitz. Soft charge comes through. Here comes Dirk, but a parallel convergence will be used to disengage the fight.
It's unfortunate that Skiz was saying Gromp. If he had been in the neighborhood. Oh, wait. He wants something. He's sniffing something out there. Nah, we're just gonna go back to farming, but yeah, if Skiz oh no, Kindred's gonna jump over.
Oh no, they got on the access. He's out in the flash. Dirk, you go ahead and flash forward onto that one. Not sure it was worth the Kindred flash there, but here comes Skiz, and the Kindred flash might actually get punished. There's 4 stacks of Permafrost into the stun. Access going in, and that's the first blood.
Yeah,
and X-Dark blue flash, and that was all they needed.
Yeah, Dark, very ambitious flash forward. He gets the flash from the Echo. That's huge. Take it and walk away. But no, he thinks I can maybe get it, but he needs to get 3 auto attacks to proc his Wolf's Hunger or Mounting Dread. I'm sorry. He needs 3 auto attacks, and flashing forward, you're assuming that you're gonna get those 3 auto attacks. Oh my gosh, tanky brawler assassin.
I mean, Yasuke not getting that surprising amount of damage on this shot, but Joey Des is definitely doing that at the moment.
Yeah, he's getting the better end of this one. He's gonna be pushing in a huge wave here in a second. Nothing really.
This is why I was surprised about the Shen pick. Like, I know it's in Yasuke's wheelhouse, but Joey Des or Ornn is not an auto attack reliant top laner. He's not like Set, where Shen really just absolutely demolishes. X-Dark.
Oh, the TP.
Finds one as Islandus, but he is polymorphed, and here comes Epic Fail Guy after the TP. Doing some damage with the boomerang. X-Dark down to 100 health, but Fire for Life is already there with the ebb and flow.
Yeah, heal comes out from AGR just to keep that safe. I can respect it. But he is going to have that down for the next 3 minutes. And Kindred just going a little too hard. Gets a little bit caught out there by Epic Fail Guy.
Why is Joey just going Abyssal Mask and not Sunfire?
Is it? Oh. I mean, he could go Catalyst and Swerve. It's possible.
I mean, I know that I think he knows that Ziggs is a threat, but at the same time, for lane, just Balmy Cinder at the very least is so good against Shen.
I mean, he seems to be having a pretty decent time just keeping him pushing so far, but that is going to change once the Tiamat gets finished from Shen. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be Catalyst first for Mr. Ornn. I guess he wants to stay in lane 369. Or 365 even. There's not 4 extra days in the year. I don't know where that came from. But it looks like Dragon's going to be the call here for Glacial. They are starting that one up, and they have full prio. Looks like it's going to go uncontested.
Yeah, that Sever prio, as we predicted, going into the early objective will be the Cloud Dragon. Next dragon will be the Ocean, so soul of the game will be the Infernal or the Mountain Soul.
Yeah, X is bleeding a little bit of CS here in the mid lane, but all in all, he's doing pretty well for himself. You know, he's got a kill. He's not getting perma shoved in. He was able to keep the Ziggs in lane while they went to do that dragon. So all in all, Exus is doing pretty well in this Echo.
Yeah. Osuke in the Sierra's refuge, but Joey Des is very, very smart playing around that right now.
Yeah, that sustain from the Catalyst is actually kind of paying off pretty huge right now. He's basically full HP. Man is also getting a little bit of a boost from that. So he's just, I can see him just trying to say, you know, I'm getting the better end of these trades. Just stay up here with me. You're going to have to recall eventually and then burn your TP, and I'll have that advantage for a play.
Excess. In the satchel charge, pops the Chrono Break as X-Dark 573 was around, so Excess popping the ultimate to avoid getting stacked by the Kindred. Of course, 4 stacks is the magic number. Kindred currently sitting on just the 1 from the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah. Excess doing a really good job keeping the Ziggs in check, not letting the Kindred just roam in and do what she wants. She tried once, almost died for it. Burned her 80 carries heal, so probably not going to be doing that again. But Blitz is playing very, very well in the Ziggs right now. He's not got a huge lead, but he's not getting destroyed either. You know what I mean? This mid lane matchup feels very, very even right now.
I mean, that's one of those things where playing an assassin in the Ziggs is just so hard to get in onto the Ziggs. You know, it's just how it is. I feel like if you're playing an assassin in the Ziggs, there is one that maybe makes sense, and that is Kassadin, and you don't even use that for lane phase. Skiz, meanwhile, might get his blue buff stolen away. Ends up dropping the smite down.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. They put a lot of work into it, and it ends up not paying, so that's just a ton of wasted time for the Kindred right there. A little bit unfortunate.
Nope. Top lane Scuttle Crab will be the next mark for the Kindred, so
should be able to get
should be able to grab the second mark. Once again, 4 is a magic number. Yes, it is. It's a magic number.
Jin, is that you?
It takes 4 wheels to make a tricycle. Never mind.
Oh, Joey's going for it.
Call the Forge God on to Yasuke! Keeps the Brittle from going down, flashing out. Here comes the flash follow-up. Joey Dust wants to get out on Yasuke, but he's gonna be slowed up by the Q. He's gotta be very careful. Gets the QE combo, and Joey Dust gets the solo kill onto the Shen. Gonna try to take the back before Kindred can make his way in. Oh, so close, but here comes Skiz! And that's the bait of the century! The Kindred ultimate goes down, but X-Dark 573 still falls. The Nami's here with the tidal wave. There'll be a trade, but XS is already here with the TP flashing forward. He gets Scale to Fire for life, takes the Chrono Break out as Blitz gets a satchel charge down, trying to get the damage onto Skiz. Shen calling the ultimate himself. Now gonna find his way onto XS. He will try to make his way under the tower. Goes down as Blitz picks up the kill. It's a 2 for 2.
So what started with Joey Desu having the largest cojones known to mankind and just face tanking the tower for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 shots, getting the kill onto Yasuke, tries to get his recall off, and then Dark's like, buddy, no, not on my watch. Runs in there.
Then Skiz comes in.
And then, you know, the fight goes so long that Yasuke's respawn timer comes out and he's able to ult back in. X is teleporting into the fight to try and kill Fire for Life, who ends up picking up the kill onto Joey. He just find the kill at the end of the day, but more kills straight over. So honestly, I don't even know who won that. It was so chaotic.
I think it's the one who just won 2 plates mid because it's a Ziggs.
Oh, he does get to go mid now, doesn't he? Isn't that
Ziggs just got 2 plates for free. I mean,
I think we have our winner, ladies and gentlemen. But, I mean, surprisingly, even though he just got those 2 plates, they're still down about a K gold right now. And I think most of that is going to be found in CS, if I'm not mistaken. No.
A little bit on the Sej, a little bit on the Ornn. Really looks just like piecemeal here and there.
I think, yeah, it's not really concentrated anywhere super
I mean,
heavy.
the Sej is like 800 up.
So, I mean, a 1K gold lead that honestly doesn't really mean a whole lot right now, especially with where it's landed. And even though Echo's got a kill up on Ziggs, Ziggs' CS and those 2 plates are making up for that right there. So Ziggs actually has a slight gold lead on Echo right now, surprisingly. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be another Dragon play. Both these teams not wanting to let this one go. Where is Kindred?
Ocean Dragon is everyone's favorite. Sivir TPing back into the fight as Joey Dust and Yasuke trading out in the top lane. Joey Dust gonna take the charge back towards tower.
Both have TPs, both are very low. There is no ultimate on the Shen right now. So keep a note of.
Here comes Skiz. Glacial Prison lands, and that's the go button. Sivir pops the ultimate as Zylandis gets the kill on a Fire for Life. Here comes the TP from both the top laners, but the Call of Forge God's already here. And we got a knock up on one as Yasuke tries to find his taunt. He won't find it. Spirit Refuge goes down. He is able to get one kill, but it is already too late for the side of Ironic as they get the kill on to Skiz. Joey Des gets the kill on the Blizz. AGR, the last member of his team alive, as a dive comes through from the Echo. Will be shut down as he tanks up the tower shot. It's a 5-4-3.
Yeah,
in favor of Ironic. Or in favor of Glacial.
Yeah, Skiz pulling the trigger at the perfect time there. Getting a quick early pick at the beginning of that fight. Basically renders Yasuke's teleport completely useless. Joey has a much nicer teleport at the tower. He's able to kind of get behind his own team. Whereas Yasuke is kind of stuck behind enemy lines, so he's forced to taunt in and try to pick up whatever he can. Meanwhile, Joey gets a great ultimate that just slides across the team. And then at the end there, being able to get the headbutt off, knocking up Blitz and getting the kill there. So, I mean, great stuff overall from Glacial. They get the dragon for themselves, another K gold lead going over their way. So 2K gold lead and 2 dragons right now. Advantage going over to Team Glacial.
Ironic needs this soul, by the way. They have Ziggs Ezreal.
Oh, that's disgusting.
To a Echo. Infernal Soul definitely better for Ziggs Ezreal than it is just for the Echo and the Sivir, although Echo does like Infernal Soul.
For sure.
So this is Ironic's gotta once again play around neutral objectives. They got behind 3 Drakes to 0 in the last game, and they were able to bring it back. We can see if they try it again this time. They do have quite a bit of late game scaling on the double ADC threat, plus the Ziggs. But it's a very different situation on the bot lane.
Yeah, if we're looking towards, like, what is the end game goal for these two teams and who is getting there faster, Glacial is definitely looking to be in the driver's seat quite a bit right now. The Ornn and the Sejuani are starting to come online. That team fight is always looming in the distance. That very, very powerful team fight. Ooh.
Oh my god, Fire for Life popping the stopwatch with the ebb and flow. Here comes the Stand United as the True Shot Barrage comes through. Tidal Wave on Epic Fail guy. He will get knocked up as AGR makes his way on. Zylandis pops the ultimate. Yasuke gets the taunt though. He's able to get the kill onto the Sivir. Meanwhile, it will be a trade for the Rift Herald towards the top side of the map.
I think that's very, very ambitious from Epic Fail guy to kind of stand there and keep trying to fight. I think as soon as you see the ultimate come down from Yasuke, you just ult yourself and run out of there. He also kind of stepped back into the Nami wave. I think he was trying to use his W.
Xark 573 looking for the dive. Yasuke, flash taunt. Zylandis gonna flash away. Shield up. AGR picks up the kill.
Great stuff.
That will be a top lane turret going down. First tower over to Glacial Esports.
Yeah, but it should get traded out here in the bot lane. Yep, there's the Rift Herald. Oh, wait, there's the ult. Is it going to clear the wave? Oh, backdoor production?
Here comes TP.
Wait, it's going to be really close.
Is here. Going down. First tower goes over to the side of the blue variety. There will be a double kill for the Echo. And a kill on the Sivir in exchange.
Wow, they haven't even taken it yet. Yeah, it's going to go over to Ironic first. I mean, it looked like it was going to go over to Glacial. But Blitz with a really, really clutch ultimate saves first tower. He actually gets another tower for himself. So that's two towers for 1, plus first tower, plus a teleport in for a kill.
Oh, no. Rip.
Oh, no. Oh, this is brutal.
The bot lane tower falls as well.
It's chaos everywhere on the map. It's just blow for blow. And it really seems just like mistake after mistake after mistake. But at the end of the day, the gold lead tells the story, and it's going to be Glacial who gets the better end of that. Even though they lose 2 towers, they pick up 2 towers, pick up several kills. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy stuff right now. But the gold lead is like, it seems like every couple of minutes, every time you check back on the gold lead, it's expanded by another 1K. And a 3K gold lead right now is pretty significant. And this Echo is starting to look very, very deadly. He's 5-2, 6 stacks on the Dark Seal. Definitely not something that you want to mess with. Without at least, the Kindred ultimate up to keep someone alive.
I wanted to make a joke about Get Smart Because you said Chaos, but I don't think anyone would get that reference because it's a show from the 60s.
Well, there was that remake with
No. We don't talk about that.
I want to say Michael Scott, but that's not his name. Steve Carell.
We don't talk about that.
Oh, we absolutely talk about it. We have to.
Or
It's part of our heritage.
70s, I should say. No.
Lulu
Get Smart.
Alone.
Very good TV show. Written by Mel Brooks. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Can't hate it. All I can say is I've only seen the remake. Sue me now.
Don't worry, Chief. You only missed me by that much.
You miss me by that much. Okay. Anyways, looks like this dragon is going to be spawning in just a few seconds here. 2 to be precise. And there it is.
On
Team fights coming out.
Skiz. X-Dark in a bit of trouble. Polymorphed up. Shen gonna pop the Stand United though. Stays alive. Yasuke gonna try to find the taunt. Goes on Epic Fail Guy, but he is spell shielded up already as the Call of Forge God goes down. Epic Fail Guy gets the kill on Yasuke as the Glacial Prison hits on to Blitz. They only need the 1 kill though, and they're gonna move on to the Dragon.
Yeah, I think that these 4 squishies are going to have to let it go. There's no way that they're going to shoot through the Ornn and the Sejuani in time. Oh, but they're looking for it.
Joey Desto on the side, looking for the peel with the 3-man knockup. Here comes Skiz! Right back in with the flash AGR, getting teched up by 3 stacks of the Permafrost. And it will just be the Dragon going over unless AGR can find a steal. It won't happen.
Oh, that 3-man knockup was so juicy, and I mean a little bit of miscommunication. Skiz flashes forward, gets a nice, follow-up engage. But it looks like Exus and Epic Fail Guy just weren't on the right side of the Dragon Pit, so they weren't able to collapse in time. So those 4 squishies are able to get away. But at the beginning of that fight, I want to talk about how Exus positions beautifully to just sow chaos in the back line. Yasuke is the only real frontliner that Ironic have. So he's going to be trying to soak as much damage as possible. And we see Exus just jumping into the back line like an absolute lunatic, just pulling all 4 members onto him, all 4 squishies. So Dark, Blitz, AGR, and Firefly. Each of them is guessing, okay, which one is he trying to blow up? So all of them are naturally focused on him and causing disruption to the back line, leaving Yasuke abandoned to just get destroyed. So it's a 4v1 versus a 4v1, but there's the trump card. Exus just has to press R, and he's immediately back with his team, able to seal the deal onto Yasuke. So overall, these team fights have to be more concerted and focused from Ironic. They can't do, the 4v1 versus the 4v1. They're going to lose every single time. Yasuke has to be more cognizant of peeling. He's going to have to play with his 4 squishies because if he gets too separated from the rest of the pack, he's just going to get picked off. Meanwhile, Exus can do the same exact thing that he's doing, but better because he can just press R and get right back up.
Yeah. We're on to the 2 items from Excess. Lichbane, Power Spike, away.
Oh god. He still only has 6 stacks. There's that little, solace.
Yeah, but do you really think anyone would ever upgrade to Magi's in a league game? Come on.
If he gets to 10 and he doesn't, I'm gonna call him out. I'm gonna make an angry Twitter post.
But Magi's is just such a BM item.
I mean, if you can swing it, swing it. You know what I mean? He's looking like he might be able to swing it right about now. This Echo's looking pretty crispy. I'm not gonna lie. The Ziggs is also looking very good. But I just feel like, Exus, now that he's out of the lane phase and priority doesn't matter quite as much, he's kind of just causing so much chaos, especially on a team against 4 squishies. Nice, brother.
You keep saying chaos, and I keep wanting to say... Alright,
I'll try to find a different word for you. He's skirmishing adequately. He's diving beautifully.
There we go. This is what happens when you leave me to my own devices. I just think of random references to random TV shows that no one cares about anymore.
Oh man, I'm sure there's someone out there who still cares. They may be a bit
Grew
older.
up watching the Get Smart Complete series DVDs. Or in the basement of my house. DVDs, mind you.
Dude, you seem like
before Netflix.
You seem like an avid fan of Get Smart.
Oh, Upsurge with the raid of 149.
Oh wow!
Thank you
Welcome,
for joining.
Upsurgians. Welcome to the mid-testing grounds where we have an excellent game for you guys. We got Ironic versus Glacial. Glacial right now pulling ahead quite a bit on the back of Mr. X's on this Echo. He has been causing chaos in the back line.
Alright. Alright. You know what is alright?
Well,
League of Legends.
oh my!
That big fail guy just chugged out so much by Blitz. Oh my god, the predictive Glacial Prison! You're kidding me? Blitz gonna get ulted by Yasuke as the TP gets channeled by XS, I believe? Yes, that was XS channeling.
Oh my god!
For channel. That was such a beautiful Glacial Prison. He's
still
on
want more?
X-Dark. Gonna go into the parallel convergence. XS is on a killing spree, and now he's gonna try to get the damage onto Yasuke. Getting ulted by the Lulu as Blitz gets some damage down. XS still has the Chrono Break available to him.
Oh, another fight's gonna break
dashing
out.
forward. 1 second permafrost. Make that 2. He's looking for more. Here comes AGR. So on the side, gets a lot of damage onto Xylandis.
I mean, you're already down, Dark. I mean, Dark didn't even have time to think about pressing R. He just melted like that. And that's what you know, the Ziggs damage is also huge. We saw Epic Fail guy on the Severe almost get exploded at the very beginning there, which kind of set the whole thing in motion. But you gotta respect this Echo's damage. Like, he is coming at you, guns blazing, 8 stacks on the Dark Seal. Lichbane finished, Protobelt finished. Looking at the Morellonomicon right now, he is a force to be reckoned with, and he has a little trick in his pocket, got a nice stopwatch for himself. So he's got 2 tricks to get into that backline and keep himself alive up against his 4 high damage species.
Bubble lands on the skivs, but that's not the target you want in these fights. You don't want Joey Dust either. Joey Dust would gladly take a bubble for his team, especially if that means the soul goes over. Speaking of excess, he wants this. Yasuke, ooh, dodging out the Glacial Prison. Dirk, though, in a bit of trouble, knocked back up. Gonna stay alive through the ultimate, flashing out of the fight. Yasuke on the side, though, not able to get onto the dragon as it goes over to the side of Glacial. The flash, the knockup from the Sedge. Here comes the call, the Forge God. Not able to get any knockups, but it's already too late as XS has the Infernal Soul.
You know, have you guys seen that gif of the guy who like is pulling the deer out of water? And it's like 80 carry support. And the 80 carry, the deer just like turns right back around and jumps in the pool. That's a little bit of what happened here with Mr. Dark. He jumps in to the dragon pit. He realizes, I've made a terrible mistake. Presses R, barely stays alive, manages to use his Q and flash combined to get himself back out of the dragon pit. And then after the dragon has already gone down, jumps back in to his quick demise. And also freeing up them to take this Baron right now.
Find his way on Yasuke. His fire for life was a bit far forward. Gonna go off the tidal wave, but XS is already on it with the E. He's dashing back out.
That's got to be a Baron. That's got to be a Baron for Glacial. I don't see how they contest this. Dark is 0-6 right now. He's just not strong enough to even look at these guys. Or even think about a Smite Steal. It's 2 levels down, yeah.
Drop rush hits. Xylandis taking out low. 3-man knockup though. Blitz gets killed in Xylandis, but it might not be traded back. Joey does now on to Yasuke. Able to get the kill, but Skiz is trying to kite out of the way. He still falls. And it's a 3 for 4. AGR now on to Joey Despi. Here comes the call of the Forge God. Gets the knockup onto Blitz. Into the Brittle proc. And it will be the shutdown and the ace. Ironic finding the kills.
I feel like the Baron call was... I feel like it was a good Baron call. I just feel like the called turn should have been sooner and more aggressive. I feel like they stood in the Baron pit for a little bit too long, got chunked out just a little bit too much, and then the fight was able to get cleaned up here by Blitz and AGR. I mean, Blitz's damage, like, he's just exploding people. His poke is massive. So if you are going to go for this Baron, you're going to have to, you know, go really, really hard, but, you know, burst it down. Do your damage. Get in there and start working on it. But if you're taking too much poke from the Blitz, you're going to have to make the call at some point to, you know, make the turn happen. And I'm thinking to myself, they don't really win a fight unless they have Call of the Forge God and they have Glacial Prison. They need those two up. So yes, they win the fight at the Dragon. They get their Dragon Soul. It's a ton of damage. It's nice. It would have been nicer on Blitz and AGR for Ironic, but you know they pick up the Dragon for themselves. Then they go immediately look at the Baron, which is fine. The Dragon goes down. Oh my!
Skiz, Glacial Prison. Speaking of the devil, but here comes Stand United, and Skiz already cutting out of that one. Trade of ults.
So yeah, I think academically, the Baron call is decent. You know, the jungler's down. He's 2 levels down. There's not really a good way to get in there. But Blitz says, hey, I'm just going to throw Qs at you all day long until you can't take it anymore, and then we're going to pull the trigger when you guys are half HP, which is exactly what happened. So if they are going to make another Baron call like that, they have to make sure that they have Call of the Forge God and Glacial Prison up. If they don't have those 2 cooldowns up, I just don't see a Baron fight that they can actually turn off of effectively.
Call of the Forge God is up, though. Shen doesn't have Stand United. He has TP, though, as Ornn tries to make his way towards fight. Here comes Excess, though. Diving. He's taken down low. But here comes the ultimate from the Ornn. Dirk getting taken out super low as Skiz gets the kill. Now Joey Dust trying to find his way into Fire for Life. He can't find it as Yasuke peeling out the damage. The tower goes down as the Echo picks up the turret. Will just be the Kindred falling and the turret going over.
You know, the speed at which this Ornn is actually going down, you wouldn't think that he has, you know, 3-ish armor items and 2.5 or 2-ish MR items. He's just melting so quickly in these fights. He's even got upgraded Sunfire Cape and upgraded Abyssal Mask. He's opting into a cloak. I wonder if that's going to be Spirit Visage. But man, he is just... It doesn't even seem like he's got all these defensive stats as he's going up against the onslaught that is Blitz and AGR. They're just melting him down. But
don't have healing, so Spirit Visage would be a mistake. That has to be what's it called? An adaptive helm.
Does adaptive work against Ezreal Qs? I don't think so.
It doesn't, but you literally can't. Building Spirit Visage is a flat-out mistake because Fire for Life literally has no healing because he doesn't have
He's got Grasp of the Undying, man.
But Grassprox ain't Conqueror. He has no inherent healing, and the Lulu doesn't have Athene, so there isn't any healing from the Lulu. XS, though, getting a nice parallel convergence onto Yasuke. He's taking out a half health. XS, look for the follow-up damage. Taunt gonna miss, though. Nice fancy footwork from XS. Going back in with a blink, and Yasuke goes down. XS picks up the solo kill in the top lane.
So XS just like a Giga Brain, throws down the parallel convergence, Hex flashes over the wall so that he can just gap close with the E. Like, this guy, Hex Flash on Echo is so interesting. Like, the opportunities that it sets up are so unique that the angles that he can come at you from, you just never expect them. And that's exactly what happened to Yasuke. I'm pretty sure Yasuke is sitting there like, what just happened to me? Did I just get Hex Flashed on by an Echo?
Oh my well, XS looking on to X Dark. And that is a very low Kindred. Here comes the Elder Dragon spawn. Glacial Prison gonna be a swing and a miss, but here comes the Call of the Forge God. XS getting the kill into Dark as Blitz might be the next one to fall here. The Nami goes down, so does the Ziggs. The shutdown lands and the Echo picks up the kill. They're gonna move on to the Elder Dragon, but I think they should just push the waves. And instead, they do opt to do just that.
Exis is beyond scary right now. I don't even know. I don't have a word to describe it. With one single jumping auto attack, you can do 60% of your HP.
Well, Stand United to save the Ezreal.
Scary. You know, Ezreal's traditionally known as the champion that, you know, absorbs pressure. He can kind of pull it off on his own. But when the Echo is just like running at you, no. That's pressure you can't absorb.
And they move on to the Elder Dragon.
They can burn this thing really fast. That's exactly what they're going to do as the call comes out to take the Elder. It's going down relatively quickly, but Ironic is moving out on the map already, trying to contest it, but I don't think they're going to get there in time.
Ziggs has the Mega Inferno Bomb.
That's it.
Nope. Goes over to the Sivir, outsmiting the jungler.
Reset's coming out right now. I love this. I would love to see all 5 members just press B right now and then just run it down mid, because double epic buffs and a soul, that's a hard push to stop, my friend.
Joey Dust completing the adaptive helm, so kind of what we expected there.
I'm assuming that Gromp was to pick up his Morello. He has 1300 left over. He did not need to get that Gromp. inefficient timing. I hate it. And he does pick up the Medjets at the end of the day. The absolute unit.
It's so BM.
I love it. I absolutely love it. But I
The
don't
guys is
love the
so
fact that he took
BM.
Gromp, but I love the fact that he took Medjets.
So BM.
And he's going for a split push too. You know what? Honestly, I feel like you guys are so far ahead at this point. Glacial, just run it down mid. What are they gonna do? How are they gonna stop
I feel like that Charlotte meme. You know what I'm talking about? Where you got like I'm with that eye roll right now.
Oh no.
You feel just like the full eye roll.
I respect a light roasting a BM, and oh my gosh,
Joey
Joey's 1v3 right now.
And he still gets the kill on the enemy support, but he will get falling down super quickly.
Is
but he's
he?
saved by the Lulu. Extra gonna pop the ultimate, stays invulnerable for a little bit of time, but he misses the flash over the wall. And the double kill comes out for the Sejuani. XXX gets kill onto the Ezreal. Going to pop the Chrono Break as he was taking up some turret shots. And they move on to the bot lane tower. Zig's the only man alive. And I think that just might be game. XLNC Esports taking the second match of the night, and they'll move on to the finals for tonight's Swiss System bracket.
Wait, don't count Blitz out. Okay, count him out. He's done. There's maybe a hope and a prayer, but not too much. But yes, it is going to go over to XLNC Esports at the end of the day. And oh my gosh, X's 14-3 at the end of the day on this Echo. Almost 20 stacks on his Medjai's Soul Stealer. Once he got that Elder buff, it was literally he dives on you, he taps you once. He presses E, and he touches your butt. And a giant dragon is breathing fire all over your face, and you're just done for. There is no coming back from that. There is no counterplay unless Miss Kindred can press R as she sees the Echo rolling in. It's over. And oh my gosh, Dark had a pretty good showing game 1 on the Olaf, but here in game 2, he was 0-10. I just felt so bad. He couldn't get anything going for himself.
I think it's worth mentioning, right, that the highest damage dealer in the game was Ziggs. He did 39,000 damage to Echo's 24,000. But guess what? Most of that damage was to tanks. Guess what Echo didn't have to deal with?
A single tank. He just literally dove into the backline uncontested. Yasuke was too tied up in the front line with the Sejuani with the Ornn, with that CC just bouncing him around while he gets smacked on by a Severe. X's is just able to run in against 4 squishies. He has his pick of the litter. It's like a wolf in a chicken coop. You just pick which one you want, grab it, and run. And that's exactly what he did. He'd either get a kill or just cause enough chaos in the backline and then ult right back on out and not have to deal with it. But, I mean, even though he did about half the damage of the Ziggs, a lot of that damage, it's the traditional poke champion damage buff. You know what I mean? Like on the post game screen, Ezreals and Ziggs are always going to have huge damage because most of their damage is poke, and they're not going to have a ton of kills, but they'll have a ton of damage because once you get chunked out to 50% HP, you're not going to stick around and get chunked out for another 50%. So I think we're seeing a little bit of inflation there, but regardless, excellent gameplay by Glacial, Exus, crispy. But the team comp overall in the draft was absolutely beautiful. But I don't want to eat up a whole bunch of time. Let's get ready to move on, Phoenix. So, you have anything else for us?
No, just stick around. We'll be seeing Glacial in our next game up against world-class Outlaws. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back right after the break.